First of all, I'm very proud of the way our kids competed. I thought really made a great effort to get back in the game after just a messy first half. We didn't play very clean in the first half. By that I mean a couple block punts. You shouldn't even be in any game after that. And we overcame a lot of tough things to get back in the game, and we just dug ourselves a hole a little bit too deep to get totally out of it and to close it out. We did tie it up in the fourth quarter, and one play later they took a shot on a freshman corner and made a great play on us. It was kind of one of them games where about when you thought we were out of it, we got back into it. But when you thought we had the momentum on them with 2 or 3 scores in a row, then they answered. So pretty hard-fought game. Both teams competed at a very high level. But ultimately, in the end, we made too many mistakes to get the victory. And it's we got to clean it up. Again, 11 penalties for 98 yards. I agree with probably all the penalties except the Charlie Goro tackle on a guy that was catching the ball and was kind of in a crouch, and Charlie went for the ball and popped the ball out and was penalized, and ultimately they scored on that. And I told them, that they officiated the way they think they got officiated, but I agree with that call. And it's a judgment call. It's a bang deal. But in a close game, we have to get that play. And Charlie made a great play on it.
Questions?
That's the second week in a row you've had to fight back from the pretty ugly first half, wasn't it?
Yeah. Last week was uglier, but this time it happened in special teams. 2 block punts, and then we block in the back. And I'm having a hard time thinking again what the other penalty in special. We missed a field goal that wasn't, it's makeable in the dome. Just got to play really clean to win, and just didn't quite get it done.
What happened on the block punt that hurt you? At the end of it.
Our left wing was having trouble with the guy's speed, and the guy came outside. And he tried to block him and pivoted on him a little bit, and the guy got in and just nicked it a little bit. So then he tried to hurry to get him on the outside. The guy made a good cut in and got more of the ball this time, and I tried to coach him up halftime, and we put another guy in there, and we didn't hardly punt in the second half enough, but we did get it shored up. But Charlie was struggling with it. He just lost his confidence. The guy's really quick, and you got to get your hands on him and just keep backing up and get your hands on him. Depth is your friend on that deal, kind of like pass blocking. You got to keep your back on the punter and shuffle your feet. And I told him, just play like it's man-to-man in basketball. You got to move your feet and get in front of him and keep your hands on him. And we did. The guy made a couple really quick plays on Charlie, who's really a good athlete for us. Give him credit.
Well,
it's had a good rushing attack today. Were you pleased with your running game today?
Well, we're coming. I mean, I knew at halftime we wouldn't have a chance if we didn't start being more successful running the football. They really do a lot of things to stifle your run as far as stunning and making things. They just about take your running game away from you. And I thought Wesley did a great job of finding running plays that would work against their stunning defense. And we had some big runs, and obviously Marcus Sims averaged 8.6 a carry and Jasper 6.2 a carry, but we didn't give up on it. I think at halftime it would have been easy to say, well, we're just not doing very good running the ball. We're probably 2 yards a carry at half, but to play against a team like this, you've got to be able to balance up a little bit. And we did a nice job of coming out in the second half of making good runs and staying with it, and then finding some good passes that really hurt them. Passed our way back into it, and then boom, it was really deflating to have the game tied up and the momentum in our favor, and then their quarterback made a huge play and beat a young kid that I look out there sometimes, a lot of first-year players on the field. It just kind of tough, guys don't have much experience.
Well, it's welcome to Missouri Valley. If they're all going to be like this, then
Yes,
it's going to be exciting.
Well, you got to win at home, especially, and this is a game that we had to have. I just keep going back to the first half. That it just, all the things that went wrong, you can't do that. And so keep cleaning it up. And this team's 10-1 in their last 11 games, and if we can play with these guys, we should be able to play with most teams in our league. I think pretty good football team we saw, and senior quarterback, great receiving core, and we held up decent. About a 79-yard bomb. That's a backbreaker. What's good to see is that when we needed to shut the run down in the second half to get back into it, and they tried to run it out, and if you've watched them, they pounded it on Eastern Michigan and some teams that they just closed the game out by running and running and running like they tried to do today, and they couldn't do it. And I think, I'm knock on wood, but I think maybe our defensive line came of age a little bit in this game, and maybe on the season, I hope, in that they finally just stood up, and Marlette was amazing. He hit it so hard. He had, I think, 15 tackles, and his spirit is special on our defense, and he really showed up and battled inside. His heart so big, and I think the other kids around him played, raised up their level of play because of his fight. And I haven't really seen the tackle charts, but Kenny Greer made a huge stop late in the game when we needed it, and but we knocked them for a loss several times when they were really going to try and pound the ball and do what they've done to other teams. They did it to Western Illinois, they did it to Eastern Michigan, they did it to Dayton. They can get in two tights and just hammer at you. They were that good, and they weren't that good to do it to us. They had to do it with a 79-yard bomb. But they got her done, but I do say that we finally proved we can stand up as a defense and hold up in the run. And we did it with 7 guys. We didn't start doing it with a bunch of stunning. We did it with the guys up front. Just you didn't see any safeties up in there or blitzing like that. We did it with the guys that have to do it game in and game out. Real proud. We did lose Mark Murtha for a couple weeks, I think. It's a sprained knee. I don't think there's anything torn about it. But I will say that Derek Chancellor came in and did a nice job in his backup role there. And we had another guard play the whole game that hasn't played much this year, and he did a nice job backing us up at right guard. Filled in a game there, so some good things happened in this game that we can build on. You want to get the scoreboard right, that's bottom line, and we're all sick about that, but we have to try and take the positives and go forward and get ready. And I do think some things happened today that when you compete that hard and come from off your back, we didn't have a lot of momentum coming out of the locker room at halftime, and the coaches kept their spirit and the kids kept grinding, and I think that's kind of a testament to working with their coaches and wanting, and they battled against a good team to get back into it, and it just wasn't enough.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
All right,